Hey everyone, this week we're going to be talking podcasts. Podcasts can be a great way to get some of your time back when you're in the car. The other way to do this is audiobooks. If you're going to do audiobooks, I would look at Audible. If you want to pay per book, Scribd, Scribd, Scribd. I can send you an invite and get you a couple months free on that. And so audiobooks are wonderful if you drive around the car a lot. But I usually will do podcasts to get a good mix of hobbies, Bible listening, news, and then just theology and sermon interests. So you see on the screen, there's just several really good podcasts that I recommend. There's so many out there to listen to at 1.5, 2x speed, and just get a lot as you're driving around, or you have a job where you're landscaping, or you just have a lot of time to listen at work. So for church history, 5 minutes in church history is really good. Between the Times does a mixture of theology, so looking at things like Romans or maybe church and culture. So that's Dr. John Payne at Christ Church. I enjoy the preaching of Mark Dever at Capitol Hill. For counseling, you can look at CCES podcasts on different counseling issues. Christ Covenant Church is Kevin DeYoung is pastor there. I love his sermons, especially if you do his sermons through the Gospel of John. They're really good. Core Christianity is more of a radio broadcast, questions and answers. I just love them, especially on things like assurance of salvation. How can I'm saved? Just questions you have on angels. So they're really good to listen to, and it's a lot easier than some other podcasts because they're just answering everybody's everyday questions. Lady Anna really loves hardcore history. I haven't listened to it much. He's not a believer, but just loves history. If you struggle to remember to do your daily Bible reading plan, the Robert Murray M'Cheyne reading plan will be sent to you daily through this podcast, and you can just have it in your list. I, of course, follow some soccer, but Help Me Teach the Bible is not for just if you're going to teach the Bible. Any book of the Bible, about an hour conversation on the big idea for something like 1 Samuel or a minor prophet, or what's the big idea of Matthew. And that's a wonderful way to learn about books of the Bible you don't know too much about. Just Thinking podcast is a podcast by two African-American ministers on church and culture and some issues there. Reform Forum is kind of deeper theology nerd things. There they do a good job of book previews. Simply Put takes a big theology concept like the inspiration of scripture, and they tell it to you in about 3 minutes. The Briefing is Al Mohler just reading the New York Times and commenting on different articles. So he looks at faith and culture. The Jerusalem Chamber, they go through the Westminster Confession of Faith, one article at a time. So they're pretty cool guys that just go through the confession. The World and Everything in It is Lady Anna's favorite news source. So if you kind of like the format of NPR, but just really don't want to slog through NPR's worldview, this is a Christian NPR essentially. So they do a really good job. Theology Simply Profound is a little bit longer theological discussions. They're doing Pilgrim's Progress right now. Unbelievable is a apologetics debate show of about an hour, different theological topics like can you be moral without God? So he goes through that. White Horse Inn is 2 or 3 pastors talking on different theological topics. Usually they have a Presbyterian pastor, a Baptist, and a Lutheran pastor, and they discuss common evangelical and Protestant reformational ideas. And then especially for parents, Youth Culture Matters looks at a lot of different issues impacting youth today. So definitely, a lot of these podcasts are really good. So maybe pick one, listen to for a while. I would just, if you start with one, maybe core Christianity, 5 minutes in church history, and simply put would be good starting points to look at there. Hope there's some helpful ideas in here, and that if you have the time to listen, it's a good time to just use your opportunity to listen to something well.